Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Campfire podcast. Today we'll be discussing the downfall of games and what led to the death of the game. Today we will be covering two games, Among Us and Fall Guys. Among Us is a multiplayer detective game released in 2018 but gaining popularity in 2020 and early 2021, where crewmates try to find an imposter while trying to complete various tasks to win the game, or vote out who they suspect as the imposter. It is the imposter's job to stay discreet and try not to let any of the crewmates gain suspicion of who they might be, and additionally, kill all the crewmates to win the game. Fall Guys is a massive multiplayer game released in 2020. Fall Guys starts with 60 players and puts them through a bunch of various party mini games to eliminate players until only one remains. I think, honestly, Fall Guys died off too fast.
It really did. It was there one day, gone the next.
I think the reason, honestly, it died off so fast is because, like, the replayability factor just left because all,
That's true.
like,
Once you play it a few times and like you've done all of the maps and stuff, then like you've done everything and you can't there's not much else to do.
yeah,
Or
I don't think,
all the items, but
I don't think the devs were expecting as much popularity as it got because it just, like, as soon as they, like, uploaded the game, everyone just started playing it, and then they didn't have enough staff or people to update the game as fast as the players needed. So
yeah.
after like the initial joy of the game, everyone just kind of like stopped having fun with it, and it got repetitive, and the replayability just fell off, and
Yeah.
it just Fall Guys is like an anomaly among games because I mean, it lasted about 3-4 weeks before it just went from millions
Died.
and millions of players to no one playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fall Guys was fun for a little bit, but after a while, it just wasn't very fun anymore, and it's super hard to win. Like, it's ridiculously
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
win.
Yeah, incredibly hard. It's basically like it is 1 out of 60 chance, like most things, but you're facing off against everybody. While like in, for example, Fortnite, you'll face a few people, and then like you could see nobody for the rest of the game.
Yeah, because everyone else has a
While
chance to kill themselves off. Like, this
yeah,
bunch of people meets up and kills this bunch. So really, you're only facing what 20 people or so
yeah.
at
While
the
in Fall,
best.
you're facing the entire 60 people that are
Yeah,
playing in the lobby, and you're like trying to win out of those 60.
yeah. Because when you
It's
spawn in, like, you get your first mini game, and only a certain amount can qualify, which does dim it down. But at the end, it's just like so hard, and it's a brand new
yeah,
game, so there were so many glitches and just
yeah.
stuff like
And
that that made it even more like infuriating and stuff.
yeah, and like if you're somehow make it to the last round, props for you, but then like nerves are gonna start kicking in, and you're gonna have a tough time beating the person, like the other few people that are there.
Yeah, you get like massive sweaty palms, and your focus just goes out the window, and it gets really hard to win. There's like a
Yeah,
cosmetic like buying thing, and when you win, you get like a quote unquote crown, and you can buy stuff with crowns or how many wins you have, but it's really hard to get the crown. So
yeah.
it
I
also
mean, if you
awards you
get
like
them,
little,
that's really cool,
yeah,
but it's hard to get them.
yeah. They also after every game they give you like these little coins, I guess you could say, and you can buy stuff with that too, which is pretty easy because all you have to do is play the game, and it awards you for placement and
Yeah, get a
stuff like
few
that.
rounds ahead, but you don't really have to win to get those items.
Yeah, I think so. When Fall Guys was first released, it mainly gained popularity on YouTube and Twitch. And it gained a lot of popularity on YouTube because it did so well and it's a family friendly game. So the algorithm pushed it so much that people just kept making videos about it. And Twitch, everyone liked it because everyone was getting burned out with Fortnite and stuff, and they just saw that as a new a new opportunity. It was like the new game, so it stayed alive and grew through YouTube and Twitch, and
Yeah.
and then everyone burned out so fast of the game. I mean, it just dropped, and it went from having like 160,000 active viewers on Twitch to like 4,000, 5,000 maybe.
It dropped fast.
Probably lower than that, probably in the hundreds, but I mean,
It's actually kind of impressive how fast it dropped.
yeah, I think it would have been a really fun game though, like cuz if they had the staff at the beginning to keep up with the game and make people feel
Yeah.
more excited. I think they had a strong idea, but I don't think they had an idea of how to like
Yeah.
incorporate it and to make
Yeah.
it replayable a lot.
A way to bring it back in a way, I guess, is make like a second game, which is basically the same thing, but like just updates. Like it needs more updates for sure.
They have new maps and stuff, but it's basically the same thing. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
same thing over and over
it
again. They
doesn't
need to add
change much.
like different game modes or
Yeah,
something like.
like yeah, like they have the party games, which is like the main one, and then they have like one where you, I don't know, get a bunch of snowballs and try to knock each other off a ledge for the win. Just other game modes to incorporate, because if you're just playing one thing, it gets boring. Like Fortnite
Yeah,
had
one.
that, and then it started to die, and they realized what they needed, and then they added creative mode and playground mode and the LTMs,
Yeah,
and
if Fall Guys started doing things like that, then they could probably be alive now.
oh yeah, I'm sure they would. I mean, it's a fun game. It's an interesting
It's a
game to
good
play. It's fun.
concept.
It's a really good concept. It's kind of like Mario Party in a way, in a sense that there's just like a bunch of party games you play. And it's
Yeah,
also multiplayer. Like you can invite your friends into like a lobby and play the same way you would, which also adds fun to it.
yeah. It's interesting game. It would be a lot more fun if they added game modes to it, but like it's a game that you can play for like a month or two and be like really happy with it and then be done
Yeah,
and go
personally, I
on to
played it
another
for like
game.
4 weeks. My friend introduced me to it, and I played it for a little while, and then I just kind of got bored of it, and then I just stopped playing. I joined late too. Like everyone else was playing like a week before I started. I mean, it only
Yes,
lasted for about a month, maybe two at the
yeah,
most. Probably less than that, but
yeah.
it it died really fast. Like
Started really fast, but then
yeah,
then died
it like
with it.
started, and within a week it had like millions of players.
Yeah,
Which, I mean, if you started a game yourself, you wouldn't be expecting that kind of popularity. You would have like a
you'd
couple.
expect maybe
You'd
like
expect
a few.
a few players, a few hundred, until it gained popularity, and normally you'd have time to build staff and
Yeah,
brainstorm ideas to how to make it better in the future. But
they
I feel
had
like
no time.
the devs got lucky and unlucky, because they had a bunch of success with the game, but they got unlucky in the sense that the success was only temporary because they didn't have the time or resources to be able to
Yeah,
keep players involved and interested in the game itself.
yeah. If they definitely if the game started way slower than it did, and it would start picking up slowly, so they'd start getting a little money, and then they'd start hiring more people to like work on the game updates and stuff like that. Then they would be alive now for sure,
Yeah,
and like still pretty popular, I think. But they just didn't have the enough time, or they had probably
resources.
had plenty of money, but not enough time to do it.
Yeah, they had the money, but not the time and like amount to like brainstorm new ideas of how to keep players hooked and what new maps to add, or time for
Yeah,
game developers to create new games and code them and stuff. They
yeah,
didn't
they
have enough time to
definitely
do that.
needed all of those things right off the
I feel
start.
like if they
But
had like a year or so extra before it blew up, it would have been like so big, and I think it would have stayed big for like a year or so, maybe more.
yeah,
but overall, it's a really good game. I'm
Yeah, good game.
I'm kind of sad it didn't deserve to fall off. It the only thing it was missing. It was fun. It was engaging, and it had like the community aspect, and it had a lot of the fundamentals you need to have a very big game. But
Yeah,
you know, it just didn't have the replayability. Like after playing it a couple times, you're like, okay, that's fun, but when you play, you know what you're doing. You know what you're expecting, and after
yeah,
it's like um going to the skate park and doing the same route over and over. It's fun for a little bit, but then it just gets repetitive and boring.
yeah.
And they
Like,
have released new seasons since, but everyone's just stopped playing, and it's more or less
yeah,
the same thing. It's they release a new season, you play it for a little bit, and you're like, okay, that's fun, and then the
yeah,
replayability goes away.
yeah. Like they add new maps. People come back for a while, play it for like like 2 weeks, I guess, and then be like, okay, it's kind of boring again.
Yeah, I wonder how many people actually still play because I haven't heard anyone talk about it in months and months and months.
Yeah, I bet there's probably like at least 1,000 people. At the
Yeah,
Probably a
I'd say
lot more
probably
than
more
that,
because
but
there was like probably 100 million plus playing it at when it was.
one point,
Yeah,
yeah,
so there's probably still like a good amount of audience there, but not
yeah, they
enough
just
to keep it, you know,
going,
relevant. But
yeah,
when it first released, all I could hear in the school and stuff was about it.
yeah,
You know,
about Fall Guy,
yeah. So I mean, that's all I would hear, and personally, all I would talk about it on the subject of gaming, of course,
yeah,
because it just blew up, and that's all anyone would play. Everyone else just kind of left their other games, and no one really. Not everyone, of course. There's obviously some
yeah,
people, but a lot of people just went over there and just stayed there for like a month, a couple weeks, and just fell off, and everyone
yeah,
kind of stopped playing it, which is kind of a shame. I wish that because I bet the devs were really excited to publish a game, and all the game
and it
developers were really excited, and I'm sure they felt like insanely excited about the amount of popularity and growth it gained over
a short amount
a
of
short
time it
amount of
was
time, but
out.
then it just fell off, and I kind of feel bad for them because they had the idea, they had the
Yeah,
everything.
they had a great idea.
Yeah,
Would have worked so much better if they had more time.
yeah,
But
just time. If time was the only thing,
yeah,
the characters are. It's such a colorful game too. Like,
yeah,
it's like
colorful,
I don't know how to.
very kid friendly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like everything's like a toy. Everything looks like a toy. It's super colorful and playful. Has like a playful background, and all the characters are all bubbly and cartoon looking and
Yeah,
stuff. It's
yeah,
overall a great game. It's a shame it fell off so quick.
yeah. Yeah, it is really sad that it did die down, really, like how fast it did. It probably like died within a week, but a week or two and it's dead.
Yeah, which is probably yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Among Us. Among Us is kind of like a deductive game, like a detective game. Like all the crewmates get tasks of various sorts. Like they have to go and there's like one where you have to drag and connect all the colors to each other and stuff like that. And everyone has like a certain amount of tasks. Probably I'd say like you can set the amount, but I'd say average 5 to 7 tasks a game, 5 to 10, and then once all the crewmates complete their tasks, they win the game. Or if
If they vote out
if they vote out the
between
imposter,
1 to 3 of the imposters,
yeah,
depending on
most
what
people
the
play it too, though.
yeah, most people play too. It's the most common.
Yeah, but
So generally it would be once all the crewmates find the two imposters and vote them out, then they win.
Yeah, and that happens by the imposter killing people, and maybe you were walking by and saw it. And whenever someone dies, if the crewmates find their body, they can report it, or the imposter can report it and like act like
And try to act
try to
like he's a
play like
crewmate.
they're the crewmate, play innocent.
Yeah, which doesn't always work.
And when you're in,
Works a lot of the time.
yeah, when you die, you become a ghost, I guess, and you can still do your tasks as the ghost and complete the game.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think honestly, what led to the downfall of this game was the same thing as Fall Guys. The replayability just fell off. It
yeah, the
got repetitive.
replayability, but there also wasn't any reward for winning. I feel like if they added like coins for
Yeah,
winning, then and then you can buy like certain things in the shop, that would make the game so much better.
yeah, yeah, I agree with that a lot. But I think it died. So it was released in 2018, and it was released and it was going for like 3 years, and no one really played it or paid any attention to it, and then all of a sudden it just blew up. I assume because Twitch was kind of in a bad place at the time. Twitch was
Yeah,
they everyone kind of Fortnite was big, and then everyone got burnt out of Fortnite, so everyone was like taking a break and playing their own games. And then Among Us came out, and you're playing with, what is it, like 10 people, 11
to
people,
10 people. Yeah,
10 people, and um all the streamers would, or the Twitch streamers or YouTubers would hop in a call, and they got to hang out with their friends and collaborations with
for
fellow big
people. Yeah,
streamers, which also was a really good way for small streamers to blow up, or gain
yeah, yeah.
popularity or
It was a lot of smalls.
get
I
noticed.
can't. I don't. And I can't name any for a fact, but there was quite a few small streamers
Disguised
that
Toast
did.
got a really big following because of
Oh
it.
yeah, that is true. Disguised
Valkyrie,
Toast got big. Yeah,
a couple, and if the streamer is like a friend, has a friend that's a relatively small streamer or still working on getting up there. And Disguised Toast and Valkyrie were pretty big already. They just got a boost from
yeah.
this.
They got boost.
You
Most
know,
most
popular ones like
Among Us did.
Pokimane or PewDiePie played. If they invite their small-ish friends to play, and then they get a huge boost from viewership from them. Saikuno, no one knew
Yeah,
who Saikuno
Sykkuno.
was before Among Us, and then
He did get a huge boost in
yeah,
the
Ludwig and
yeah.
Pokimane and a bunch of other big streamers started playing with him, and he came from nowhere to like top of the face of Twitch.
Yeah, he really did.
So it was like a great opportunity for all small or growing streamers to
Pick
grow
up
or get
and
recognized in the
yeah.
yeah. But
It was quite nice what Among Us did to a lot of smaller streamers. Even like some pretty big streamers got a bigger boost from Among Us.
yeah,
Like
Ludwig was already a big streamer, but he got a boost from it for sure.
yeah, I'd say most streamers who started doing Among Us probably got like at least like 10,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah,
Most of them did.
or they got a 10,000 subscriber boost. Some a lot
Yeah,
more.
boost. Yeah, some got so many. Kind of impressive.
Yeah, I think a lot of another reason it blew up was because it was peak of COVID, and it allowed for 10 people to communicate and talk, and it
That is
um
true. It was like this did like kind of start getting big around when COVID like started and some people were getting scared of it.
yeah,
And
so
then
everyone
they
was
started
in their houses, and you were
yeah.
encouraged to meet new people and hop in a Discord call with a couple strangers, and
Yeah.
play a friendly game and
Yeah.
have a good time. And it was really good because everyone's stuck inside, they didn't have much social interaction, so it kind of gave everyone that
Yeah.
social interaction that they'd been craving or needed.
That is true. Yeah, a lot of people who needed or wanted some interaction with friends or just other random people, they got it from Among Us. Like
Yeah.
real, like they can find a match real fast too.
Yeah, it used to be, you join a match and you're in. But I think the downfall was mainly caused by COVID lessening up and the replayability because they didn't have
Yeah,
any. They had one new map the whole time, and
yeah, that's true.
and after a while, and COVID started lifting up a little bit, so everyone was going to see, their friends, and everyone was going outside more, so they didn't have that
Yeah,
obligation
in
to
person.
um, go hop on and talk to strangers. They could just do that normally.
Yeah. I think that they really should have had some sort of reward though for winning.
Yeah,
Like
for
you'd
winning,
get like
because
one token, and then instead of have like they have pets in the game, and you have to buy the game to get the pets.
yeah, so
And I wish that like you get like one token for winning, and you could buy the pets for let's just say 50 or 100 tokens. So you'd have to win that many times, then you get like one pet of your choice
I'm
or
sure
something
that
like
also
that.
led to the downfall. No reward system or like,
Yeah,
hey,
but
good
like
job,
you,
you won. There were
yeah,
cosmetics, but on phone,
they're free
I think it's
on
just
mobile.
phone. On mobile, it's free, but you don't
Yeah,
get any skins or anything. If you buy it off
yeah.
of Steam, which is PC, or I think it's PlayStation, right?
Maybe.
Anyway,
Then
if you buy it on PC, it costs like I think $5. Maybe it's 25. I don't know.
it's I think it's $5. But then you get all of the skins, pets, all of
No,
the
you don't
hats.
get any pets, but you do get skins, and then they
Oh,
released
yeah.
a later pack later with the pets that you could additionally pay for. But I agree
Oh,
with you that it's $15.
15. Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's the bundle. Yeah, it's $5. But anyway,
$5 for just the game
if they
and
had like you won the game, and yeah, like you said, you get a token and you can buy cooler and cooler pets or different hats or something like that.
yeah.
Different suits maybe.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like different suits. Like you can buy the skins individually for like with those tokens when you win.
yeah, just
That would
something
have made the
extra.
game so much better, I think.
Or um like we were talking about with Fall Guys, different mini games. Like maybe there's one where everyone's the imposter and you got to run around trying not to get killed and kill people, or
That that would
everyone's.
be that would be kind of interesting, chaotic, but fun.
Yeah, that would be chaotic. Or maybe like add new functions into the game, like the imposter can throw a knife, or
Yeah, but then his cooldown's way longer and
yeah,
stuff like that.
something easy. Or maybe like add a sheriff, add it like
Yeah, because the only like the thing is there were a lot of mods, but there's
there
not
are
many people
mods,
that
but
know. Yeah, there's not many people that know how to install those mods.
yeah, especially the
So
younger player
the
base,
younger, yeah,
they
yeah, the younger audience of the game who
or
don't,
like because
yeah,
they have to ask their parents, and mods aren't always safe to download because whatever. But if they added like a sheriff, where if the imposter killed the sheriff, the crewmates could get it, or maybe if the crewmates did like a really big task collectively, one person got one like a bow shot or something, like, and
oh
they
yeah,
get
something
to,
to kill
or
the
like if
imposter
they
with
get like a
in
pen or something where they get to vote out one person who they think it is,
yeah,
because
and like that
normally you have to
person
vote on who you put out, and if two people vote on this person and three people vote on this person, the third person gets out. But maybe if you did like all your tasks, you get like a vote, or the first person to finish all their tasks got like a vote pen, and they got to definitively vote one person out, whether how
yeah.
no matter how many votes they had.
I started realizing like towards the end of the game, people started like the crewmates started not doing their task and instead sitting on cams, and if they had something like medbay, they'd try to just clear themselves with it, but then
That's
they'd
true, but
leave all the rest of their
I think it's rather well balanced. Like there was no meta to the game really. It was just kind of
yeah,
have fun, try to, and then for the imposter, try to be secretive and like
yeah, that is true.
run around. But yeah, I think if they added like a sheriff, or maybe for the imposter they added like um I don't know, like a person that doesn't kill anyone and still has tasks, but they can like be next to people doing the tasks and like morph into, I don't know.
Yeah,
But I don't know. They
just something
just
random.
some like other mode of playing, add something into it, because
Yeah, just some
after
way
it
to.
blown up, they didn't add anything for the longest time, and then they gave us a map. And props
Map
for
was it.
them for giving us something at least. Like, I'm glad of that, but maybe make it not a map. Maybe add something to the game as
Another
like
mechanic.
another mechanic, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I mean, a map is fun, but I mean, it's like Fall Guys, you add a map and it's like cool for a little bit, and then you're like, okay, this is just the same thing, just different
yeah,
area.
yeah. It just looks different. But in the new map that they made, the airship,
Yeah,
they have a few different tasks that
they have a
the
few different
other,
tasks, so that's fun. But
but
after you
other,
discover them, you're like, okay, well, that's just the same thing I just did.
yeah. Like once you do it like 10 times, you're like, okay, I know how to do this
Or
really well
maybe
now.
like
And
if you complete a task, you get like a token, and for a certain amount of tokens, you can check someone. Like if
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
that would be really cool.
yeah, instead of like just voting them out, you can be like, I think this person is an imposter, but I'm not 100% sure. So you like check them, and it'll
Yeah,
like tell you. Which they have something like that, but it's med bay. But you have to set that up. You have to have a bunch of people come
yeah,
with you and verify it.
yeah.
And I think
It's
another thing that would be fun is like, I think there's a mod for this, but have like 100 people. Have like,
a really large game on a really large map.
yeah, and like a ginormous map, and have like 20 imposters and like
Yeah, that would be really
80
interesting.
crewmates, and have like each one do like 10 tasks, so everyone's just running around trying to figure it out. And
Yeah, that
but
would be an
everyone,
interesting
you shouldn't be able to vote on one person. With that one, you should be able to vote, and everyone should be able to vote and have, actually no, that wouldn't work because there's 80 and 20. But still, I think they should have like a just different aspects, like, or if
yeah.
you want to, I don't know, just something better.
Yeah, they just need to add like get more updates to mechanics, not
Not
new
new
maps.
maps. And
Because new
yeah,
maps will get old and boring again.
yeah,
While mechanics, like you're gonna like be using those a long time. Like
yeah,
yeah, they may get boring, but you're gonna be using them quite a bit. They're gonna make for some like really cool clips that you
yeah.
can do. Like
I Yeah, go ahead.
there's not much else about like these games. I mean, we've covered quite a bit to them. I don't know what else we would say about them. Like,
I just think like we could, the downfall I think was mainly either the release of COVID or the replayability factor gone, because especially a lot of streamers got burned out at that time, like of their job.
yeah, they did. So they turned to streaming full time to, yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think the main downfall for Among Us was probably the replayability not there, and them not having enough time. And I think for Fall Guys, it's just COVID lifting up, and the replayability and not enough updates to mechanics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the same for both the games.
Yeah.
Like you do the thing, you do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's just the
There's not
replayability.
much diversity.
All right, well, that's the first podcast about downfall of games. If you want to see um, all the Minecraft over this, if you want to see like a commentary of what we were doing then, you can head over to our second channel, Campfire Gaming, and see what we were talking about during the playing, and check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening. See you next time.